Very good morning, all the students of 5th standard. We are learning here history 6th lesson. Stone Age and Stone Tools, page number 27 is going on. The Neanderthal man made further progress in a tool making techniques. Neanderthal man, they made the further progress, they made the more progress in the tool making technique. What is the tool making technique? Was introduced by the Neanderthal man. They made the more progress in the tool making techniques. Thus, he began to make smaller tools, and the Neanderthal man also began to make the smaller tools. What are the tools were there of the Neanderthal man? So they began to make more and more smaller tools by their techniques. Homo sapiens brought about revolutions in the technique of making tools. Those were the Homo sapiens. They brought more revolutions there in the tool making technique. What is the tool making technique? Was introduced by the Homo habilis or Homo sapiens. They brought more revolutions in that, more changes in that. He devised a technique of obtaining longer and narrow blades of the stones. They devised the technique that they introduced the techniques to obtain long and narrow blades of the stones or the tools there, sharp and edge blades there. He made various implements like the knife, number of the implements they made, like the knife, scraper, borer, chisels, such type of tools they introduced or they implemented from these long blade that. He also began to use ivory and rare stones of the quartz variety for the makings, tools and the other articles. The number of the other articles or the things they used, they began to make or to use. Among that, the quartz ivories from that other tools articles they made there. Homo sapiens had made a significant progress in gaining knowledge. So those were the Homo sapiens. They made the significant progress to gain the knowledge, to get the knowledge. For that, they made the progress there. To gaining the knowledge of his environment and in the techniques of the making tools and obtaining food. That what is the technique was introduced by them tool making techniques and other methods. In that, they made the more progress, more knowledge they added there. This enabled him to stay in one place for a longer period of time. However, when they began to introduce their techniques of the tool making techniques, by using their tool making techniques, they began to be stable in one place for the longer period of time. So they began to hunt more and more animal. Food was available them in a easiest way. So to them there was no need to be roam in a search of a food. So they began to be stable in one place. Groups of Homo sapiens had begun to build huts and live in them. So those were the Homo sapiens people. They began to set up their tents. They began to build their huts and they began to live in that huts there, because they became the stable there. Stabilizations they got that. But if the food is available, then why there is a need to be roam to go in search of food and to change the places if here only available. So wherever the sources were, food sources were available, there they began to settle down and they lived there. Sometimes they live near the seashores also, from where they can, although wherever the water sources are there, they began to live. Yes, they can obtain the fishes easily. They had also started celebrating social festivals. Now the food was available for them, so they have some time, extra time. So they began to be passed that extra time by enjoying, by spending in other activities there. They began to be celebrate the social festivals. Many artistic objects and the cave paintings created by the Homo sapiens were possibly made for these festivals. Number of the creations are there, artistic objectivities are there, cave paintings are there. They are created by the Homo sapiens. They are mostly that car or the painted for this only purpose there. Homo sapiens had started using ornaments to adorn themselves. So these Homo sapien peoples, they began to be use the ornaments this to adorn their body to look more attractive or the beautiful. They began to be use the ornaments. They began to use this. So ornaments they began to be used to look more attractive. There's beds from the time of the Homo sapiens made of the shells, bones, and the animal teeth have been found there. So what kind of ornaments they were using there? They were using the different conches, shells, shiny objects, plates, and also the bones or the teeth of the animals that they made. They were made a chain of it circle, and they began to be wear them as their ornaments. So thus the beginning of human culture go back to the old Stone Age. So in this way, what is the beginning is there of the human culture's beginning. It goes back toward the old Stone Age. From there, the culture started. Remains of the tools from the old Stone Age have been found into the India at various places. What are the remains of the tools were there of the old Stone Age? Such remains of the tools of the old Stone Age have been found at the various places from the Kashmir to the Tamil Nadu. It's found there. However, not many human fossils from the old Stone Age have been found in India. So, what are the tools were there? Stone tools. They were not found in more number or the quantity in India. There were not many human fossils from old Stone Age have been found, and human fossils also not found from the old Stone Age into the India. Means in Indian territory or in Indian regions, there were not so many humans they lived from the old Stone Age. So there, because of that, their fossils also not found there. So here, fossils of the human skull and the collarbone of an old Stone Age women were found on the bank of the Narmada in the vicinity of Hatnora, a village near Hosnagabad in Madhya Pradesh. So, what are the fossils of the women were found near the river Narmada, on the bank of the river Narmada in the vicinity of the Hatnora in the regions there. It is into the Hosnagabad in Madhya Pradesh. There they have found the remains of the fossils of the women there. Beside that, the fossilized skull of a child from the old Stone Age was also found at the village near Puducherry. The child's skull, also, or the skeleton skull of the small children, is also found at near Puducherry. It is there. So these some of the things we have find. Some remains of the old Stone Age also. Stone Age humans also have been found into Afghanistan. So along with that, the remains of the old Stone Age, their fossils have been found in India, and some of the fossils of the old Stone Age have been found into another country. Among that, Afghanistan and the Sri Lanka. There are also some of the remains of the old Stone Age have been found there. Gangapur near Nashik and the Chirkinevasa near Nevasa are among the well-known old Stone Age sites in the Maharashtra. From the Maharashtrian point of view, you will see that in Maharashtra also some of the sites are there where the old Stone Age peoples, their remains have been found. Among that, Gangapur, it is near the Nashik, and the Chirkinevasa is this place. It is near the Nevasa city. They are the well-known old Stone Age sites from the Maharashtra. Gangapur is on the bank of the Godavari rivers, and Chirkinevasa is in the Pravara basin. So these are the places or the sites from the Maharashtra. Gangapur, it is this river. It is on the bank of the river Godavari river from the Nashik river. So mostly what the skeleton sites are there, means fossils are there. Remains of the fossils of the skeletons have been found on the bank of the river basins. So this is about the old Stone Age informations. When we will come tomorrow, then we will come with the new Stone Age, Middle Stone Age or the Mesolithic Age. Okay.